1-0, lost 6, and today's defeat was a 4th in a row. He's about to head home, but we've dragged Dorse back in to get his immediate reaction to this. I mean, you look at what happened last season, and now Santo gone, and now Postecoglou gone after just 8 games in charge. This is spectacular unravelling, isn't it?
It certainly is. Am I surprised it's happened now? Probably not, on the back of his 8 games and 18 goals conceded. I sat on Sky Sports News on Monday and went, give the guy time. How long was this going to carry on for? Marinakis has caused this himself. He's brought this on. And people in Nottingham Forest fans, when Ange got given the manager's job, was thinking, why him? So much of a contrast between Nuno, what he did, and the way Ange played last year. Yes, he brought a trophy for Tottenham Hotspur, magnificent. But Ange, what we saw at Celtic, what we saw at Spurs, he was never going to change. Do I feel for him? I certainly do. Because I listened to Mercy in midweek talking about Ange has never shirked anything from the scrutiny he came under last year at Spurs. The job, when he got it, he could have sat at home, watched from the stands against Arsenal. No, he didn't. But ultimately, I said on Monday, if you don't get results, you're going to be in big trouble.
Very, very quickly, Kettering's finest, Sean Dyche, next man in.
Well, I heard it in the week. I can see why they would go for Sean Dyche. His links with his staff, Ian Warne, Steve Stone, they're now looking over the shoulders. 4th bottom, 5 points in 8 games. He will be worried.
Just to recap the breaking news in the last few minutes, just 19 minutes after the full-time whistle went at the City Ground as Chelsea beat Nottingham Forest by 3-0 to make it 4 straight defeats, and Ange Postecoglou has been sacked. 39 days in the job. It's the second shortest ever reign as a Premier League manager. The previous record held by Sam Allardyce, but certainly the shortest in a single season, because Allardyce's reign at Leeds United that lasted 30 days was over the course of 2 seasons. So 39 days after he took over from Nuno Espirito Santo, and Ange Postecoglou is heading out of the door at the City Ground. We'll have half time at the City Ground between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. Chelsea made 3 changes, and Clinton, it's paid off.
It has, but it's not one of any of the changes that combined for the goals. Ajupong, the young centre-half, his first goal for Chelsea, but it's brilliant play from Neto on the left-hand side. Just goes past Williams and just whips a great ball in. Don't know what Murillo's doing. He just decides I'm going to go barge into someone else instead of defending. Ajupong just heads it into the far corner. And now they have a free kick in a dangerous position. And he did make 3 subs. Caicedo, Gittins on, Garnacho off, Lavia off, and Santos off, and he's made a big impact. The young Spanish striker Guy. They've got. You want to stay with me for this free kick?
I think we will. Because
it could be Reece James' time, even though Neto's over it. If I'm Reece James, I'm saying, not now, Neto. It's my time. But I think he's going to let Neto take it.
And while we're waiting, Amani off as well. Who's come on for him?
Yeah, Awoni's gone off and Igor Jesus has come off. That's just because he hasn't played a lot of football. But I thought Awoni was good in the first half. Neto, go! Yeah. Game over. And let me tell you something. All James does is nudge it to Neto, and Sells gets a hand to it. And I have to see the replay because for me, Sells should be saving this. It's not in the corner. Game over, and Ange is under big trouble because you know what? They did create chances in the first half, but this team he's picked, it was set out to get.
They didn't have
defeated.
A shot on target.
Exactly.
They had chances.
They had, but they were half chances. So he's not created any clear-cut chances, and huge pressure. 2-0.
Through the wall.
So a second of the season for Pedro Neto, and as Clinton rightly mentioned, a first senior goal ever for Josh Akinfong, the 19-year-old who got a recent call up to the England under-21s as well. Chelsea 2-0 up in the space of just 3 minutes and just over 3 minutes. I was trying to get the exact timing, but it was around about 3 minutes between the 2 goals. Now let's head back to the City Ground where the atmosphere amongst the home fans is getting ever more gloomy, and Chelsea at the moment, Clinton, all over the home side.
They are. The fans started booing not because Hudson-Odoi was coming off, because they were taking off Douglas Luiz, which I find strange. I think he sacrificed Sangari and you keep Douglas Luiz on the pitch. He's been one of the better players, so they were frustrated. It was the Chelsea fans were saying you're getting sacked in the morning, and the Forest fans started, getting behind their team. Come on, you Reds. So yeah, it's difficult. They need the next goal in this game very soon, in the next 4 or 5 minutes, because since Chelsea have made these changes, they've been outstanding, and Forest have hardly created any chances at the moment. I'd be getting Ndoye on. What he's still got 3 at the back. He doesn't need 3 at the back. You don't need 3 at the back because your wing backs Zinchenko and Williams are not causing any problems. Chance here. I know that. Not enough players in the box as usual, but good play from Elliot Anderson and well defended.
And the other thing is, you look at the starting lineup today, Clinton. You look at the Forest bench as well. McAtee, Kalimuendo, Hutchinson, Bakwa. Not even on the bench for Forest this afternoon. £125 million worth of signings. He doesn't know his best team by a stretch, does he?
No, he don't. Chance. This don't help though. This don't help when the players are missing big chances for the ball in from Zinchenko is fantastic. He's about 5 yards out, Nico Williams, and he's got to control that and guide that into that bottom corner. And that is why you need to bring on a wide man like Dan Ndoye, who can score goals, who's natural in that position. But you're right, signing those sort of players, 125 million and not making the bench, doesn't look good. It looks like there's a lot of problems at Nottingham Forest at the moment.
And it looks like it is going to be a 6th defeat in 8 games for Ange Postecoglou since he arrived to take over Nuno Espirito Santo. We're heading straight back to the City Ground. The early kick-off in the Premier League. Chelsea leading Nottingham Forest by 2-0. But at the moment, Forest is looking totally out of luck because they've been close, Clinton.
No, they have. They're unlucky. Ange must thinking, what can he do? Because Hudson-Odoi does ever so well. Whips the ball into the back post. Igor Jesus is stretching, hits the bar, hits the post and comes to safety. Golden opportunity for Forest. And they've created a few in the second half, but yeah, their luck's out at the moment. Still 2-0 Chelsea.
Solihull Moors in the National League, only 1 home win so far this season. Looks like they're going to get their second today because Bradley Stevenson, who scored the opening goal in the first half, his first goal in a year, has just doubled that. 2 then in the space of a year to double their lead as they lead Braintree Town by 2-0. Right, definitely now, job done for Chelsea at the City Ground, Clinton.
Yeah, it's the ball. The ball's played in and Forest don't deal with it. And it comes out to Reece James from a set piece. And he's about 7 yards out. He just controls it with the inside of his foot right into that middle of the goal. But it's poor again from Forest. Not defending set pieces. They've missed big chances. All the fans are now, everyone's leaving, exiting. The camera pans to Ange and yeah, he's got his hands over his mouth looking at the fans. But it shouldn't be the scoreline, but it is because they've been more clinical than what Forest is. So 3-0, game over.
Surely that is going to be terminal for Ange Postecoglou. Could be a very interesting few hours ahead at the City Ground, that is for sure. Reece James, nice way to mark your 200th appearance for Chelsea this afternoon. His first Premier League goal since January as well. But job done for Enzo Maresca's side. And after that 2-1 win, that late win against the champions Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, it is going to be another win either side of the international break. So as I was just quickly back to Clinton, because one black mark against Chelsea this afternoon. What has been a very good afternoon so far. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, Gusto, making a tackle. There's no need to make a tackle. In Nottingham Forest's half, he doesn't need to, and it was his second booking, second yellow card, and yeah, he deserves to get sent off. So that was that was a sour note for Chelsea, which has been a big 3 points for them. But yeah, silly to get a second yellow card. Camera went to Maresca, he was shaking his head, he weren't happy about that. No need to do it.
And for Ange Postecoglou, it is going to be a 4th defeat in a row in all competitions. Right, let's go. Meanwhile, in the early kick-off, it's all over at the City Ground, and Chelsea have beaten Nottingham Forest by 3-0. So for Ange Postecoglou, it's 4 defeats in a row in all competitions, and after 8 games in charge, he remains winless. Game over for you, Clinton. Is it game over now for Ange Postecoglou, do you sense?
Yeah, I think it could be. I think, yeah, as you said, losing 8 games is nowhere near good enough. They got a big European game on Thursday
night. Not lost 8, without a winning 8.
Without a winning 8, but yeah, but it's still been nowhere near good enough. And obviously on Thursday, they got a big Europa League game, and will Ange still be in charge? I don't think he will. Listen, they didn't. There was a few boos at the end, but they weren't saying like you're getting sacked in the morning and stuff like that, where they were saying in previous games. But I think they saw a performance. They did put in a performance, but the problem they're having all season is can't keep clean sheets where they were good at that last season and they were managing to get wins, and Chris Wood was on fire and they had Hudson-Odoi, Langer, Gibbs-White. These players have been quiet for them this season. They're not scoring goals.
They're not taking the chances.
They're not taking the chances today. They did in the first half, and they're missing big chances as well. And even at 2-1, Igor Jesus has a great chance. He hits the bar, hits the post. And there's a little clip there of Ange by himself in the middle of the pitch, just clapping the fans and stuff. Like, you do feel for managers in these kind of situations, and I think he knows he's probably doomed at the moment.
10 goals they've conceded in all competitions from set pieces since Ange Postecoglou took over, and he's just standing right, as Clinton was saying, in the middle of the pitch. A little light applause he's giving the fans, but there's not many fans left in the stadium, so many of them leaving well before that full-time whistle. A couple of other